Hello and welcome back? Question mark? Maybe
Hi,
this
hello.
works.
Hello.
Can you guys see yourself?
Yep. Yeah, I can see everything.
Mm-hmm. Do I look that squished normally, or is that just a
No,
thing
it's
you're
just the
doing?
camera.
Okay.
I don't know why it's doing that.
It's not your actual physical body.
Yeah, I'm just making sure everyone can still hear us.
Seems like it.
Hey, we're still
yeah,
good. Okay, let's start.
okay.
Adam, take it away.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
All
back to
right.
fiddling with this shit still.
So I won't start with you then. So you Calamite, you approach this person, this affluent looking individual, though dirty he may be. And he says to these these women dressed like kind of similarly, he says, "Excuse me, ladies." And he turns, he sees you approaching.
Goodbye.
No, we're good. Just keep going.
Okay.
So you walk up to him.
Yes, he turns to me. Hello. Are you a patron of this temple, or are you one of the clergy? Perhaps.
Are we not, in our own ways, all beholden to the turn of the wheel? It pays to worship just a little.
Oh, as I do. Would you call this a place of work for you?
I try to do as little work as I can. And he puts out a hand, and he says, "I am Ujarak, formerly of Osh, now of nowhere. Certainly not of this place."
I am Kalimat of, well, everywhere. I'm a traveler, a nomad, so to speak.
He says, "I have found travel to be most profitable."
Indeed, it can be. But the turn of the wheel also takes those profits at times if I have missed my guess.
Every coin comes up, heads now and then, tails now and then. What brings you to the temple? This is a bad district to be in. The tower's gone mad, it seems.
Is there a good district to be in these days?
I've been wondering that myself. Is there profit to be had in this city? Profits we have, but I'd like to get out of here with a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it does you any good, I have some information about some places that might be profitable to an adventurous type. But I am looking for someone who is a custodian of this particular temple. Could you point me in the right direction, and I'll give you the information that I know?
I would sooner blindfold you, spin you around in circles thrice, and push you, finding a direction in this place. And you look around, and it's like I was saying before, it's kind of dimly lit because it has so many doors, and there are all these crossing lines of light that cast through the place. It's got a slightly domed roof, and on the floor, a pattern shaped like a ship's wheel, but there's no rooms. There's no like it's just a big open like the Pantheon, right? So he looks around and he says, "This place is more for meetings, a crossroads. And as you can see, the priests here, well, as you can't see them, the wheel is confounding. I was just," and he gestures to his companions, these two women they're talking. He says, "I was just having a short discussion with some friends."
So
but he looks past you. Ramus and Berg, are you making an effort to sort of like stay hidden, or
we're just chilling, just casually standing like 10 feet back,
we're just talking,
like hiding behind something or whatever. But
well, are you making an effort? Are you making an effort to seem like you are not with Kalimat, or are you like watching this conversation?
yeah, I guess we could be disconnected from Kali, close by.
Yeah.
Like maybe we're talking to each other, pretending like we're talking to each other, but really we're talking about how do you think it's going, like that kind of thing.
So he looks at you, doesn't really register. He looks around. You get your part of that look, and he looks back at you and he says, "Have you come to this place alone?" And then he looks at you, and you're openly armed, right? You have your knife. So.
Oh yeah.
And he says, I could always use someone who knows how to use a weapon. You're not just carrying that for show.
No,
I'm putting together a caravan, and if we leave, the desert's like to be a dangerous place.
I don't think you know how enticing that is. When do you plan on this journey? Taking this journey.
And that's the question, isn't it? The longer I stay, the more chance I have to leave with something. But then I gamble that I might leave with nothing at all. I don't particularly want to die in this place.
Me
I
neither.
certainly don't want to die poor. I haven't decided. Perhaps that's why I'm here in the temple, pondering the paths ahead.
I'm sorry. What was his name one more time?
His name is Ujarak. Ujarak of Osh. Well, formerly of Osh.
Okay. Yes, that is exactly my sentiment. I have business to attend to before I leave, and I wish to get it done quickly. I am just looking for someone from this temple to help. And I saw you looking, me and my companions,
And he
on
looks,
our way in this journey.
He looks at Ramus and Berg, a cleric and holy warrior of the tower, and he looks back at you and he says, "You have a strange taste in friends, Kalimat. Those are dangerous people to be around."
I too am strange. Have you ever seen anything like me before?
He gives you a good look, like that's a real question, and he says, "I've seen a great many things. But no, nothing like you."
Strange attracts strange is all I can say about that.
He shrugs. He shrugs and he says, "Well, it looks like your friends are winning the fight. So
Indeed.
you're better off with them than you would be with, say, a couple of priests of the magician."
Oh, I heard about that. Bad fortune for them.
A shame. But that's why we have reincarnation, isn't it?
Absolutely. So, Udarak, formerly of Osh. Do you know any of the priests of this temple of the wheel?
I don't think that that's how it works. I don't think that there are priests, or if there are, they're well hidden. So how about this? Why don't you make an offering to me, and I'll do one to you, and we'll stand in. Maybe that'll work.
All right. I'm looking for something. Something in the lower district. Maybe there were rumors of it. A temple of sorts with no fanfare, no front, no flags to be flown.
His eyebrows are slowly raising while you're saying this, and he grins, and he says, "Ah, you're looking for the Devil's Vault."
Am I that transparent?
There's only one reason I can think of to go down into the lower city, and it's the only temple I know there. But it's not a temple in the way you'd think of it. And he gestures around. It's more nebulous. Priests that know one another, gambling halls, drug dens, interconnected businesses. But it's said among the criminals down there that they all keep their gold in the same place, and other treasures besides.
How did you come by this knowledge? Forget I asked. Very rude of me. I apologize.
Good.
Okay. Do you know where I might find this web of businesses down below?
He says, I tend to avoid that sort of thing myself, but friends of friends, I can tell you this. The devil is a charitable sort in ways you might not expect, and his clergy employs cast-offs, former slaves mostly, orcs. And he looks at Berg, looks at you, and he says, I've never owned a slave myself, abhorrent practice. But these escaped slaves, they tend to be dangerous individuals, good for guarding. It's a task that many orcs are put to. if your friend there could help get you a connection in the lower city, perhaps one of the tribes there, one of the gangs, could point you in the right direction.
Well, it just so happens that my friend is very popular among the dregs. I hate to use the word dregs, but it's all I can think of at the moment.
And he says, again, that's why we have resurrection, isn't it? You live your life as a drag, as you say, and maybe you come back as something more beautiful. Though I suppose that's not the point. Enlightenment is often ugly. But you're not here to talk religion.
Where shall we begin this journey? Can you give me a landmark of sorts that I can travel towards?
Pick a road that goes downhill and then follow it.
Simple as that.
He shrugs. The lower district rings the city. There are dangerous parts, and there are more dangerous parts. The city of Brass, new visitors have taken up residence there. Stay away from the big gold pyramid, and you should be fine. You'll get a chance to learn if you actually know how to use that knife or not. And if you survive, come looking for me. I may have work for you, or I might have left the city.
I absolutely will. Now, as to my end of the bargain, it might not be as fruitful as yours, but a promise is a promise, a deal is a deal. And I tell him about the place where we were kind of looting, and I got my my flute, my pan flute, and we got the we saw the what was that hippie shop, the patchouli shop?
Yeah, right. The
that fucking place. And shit like that. And I tell him, like, all empty, all free for the taking. Everything's there. It might not be priceless artifacts, but good things and not guarded.
He grins and he says, knowledge, illicit though it might be, it could be of use to me. I have a favor to ask of you. And he reaches up and he unscrews like a ring from his finger. It's like a bronze ring with a blue stone. And he holds it out to you to like give it to you. And he says, take that with you wherever it is that you end up. And if you find your way out of this place and you find yourself in another temple like this one or to any of the arcana, honestly, I don't care. Leave this as an offering for me. Say a prayer for Ujarak, formerly of Osh.
A very strange request. There's no, and can I do an inside check to see if he's trying to trick me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You like reach to take it and you're like,
Yeah. 16?
No. He seems on the level. Like he just wants you to say a prayer for him and like use the ring as a sacrifice. You don't know anything about the ring, but he doesn't seem to be trying to like screw you.
Is there a reason you can't make this prayer yourself?
Well, it's selfish to pray for oneself, isn't it?
Is it? I was unaware of that.
He shrugs. It's what my mother always said. We make our prayers for someone else and hope they pray for us.
Excellent.
It's a racket. It's a racket, if you ask me. I've never met a god that meant me anything but harm, but, well, I've never met whatever you are either. Maybe that'll go better for me. So, say a prayer. Throw it in a well someplace. Give it to a priest. Do something holy with it. Just don't sell it. I think that'd go badly, karmically, for both of us.
You are a very interesting person, Drak, and you have my word. At some point in the future, I will place this or throw this into a temple and say a prayer for Udarak, formerly of Osh.
And if you find yourself in Osh, well, don't tell anyone there you know me. And he like winks at you.
I know that feeling all too well. And so I take the ring like from his hand, and in its place, I leave the Wheel of Fortune. Like I leave the card, the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, you give it to him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he takes it.
Just a token to remember me.
Yeah, and he tucks it into his shirt pocket, and he smiles and he says, "Now, if you'll excuse me, my companions and I have some praying to do." And he turns back to the women, who you realize now are like temple prostitutes from the lovers. They're both dressed the same, and they look at you like, "Get the fuck out of here, man! We got business to do." And so he turns back to them. Yeah, he turns back to them, and the three of them leave.
I just give him a little like, ladies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I go back to Ramus and Berg.
Okay. All right.
Well, not exactly fruitful. The priests of this temple, if there are any, are not akin to letting themselves be known. So we could walk up to people all day and not know. But he did say that it's in the. I'm sorry. What was the name? Like not the undercity.
It's in the lower city. So the city of
Lower
Brass.
district,
Yeah, the city of Brass is like ringed by districts. The further you get away from the pinnacle, generally the crappier and newer the city is. It's sort of spreading out down the hill.
Right. And I relay all the information about the web of businesses, how we like just walk downhill and eventually we'll get there. I suggest like my only thought is to pick up clues as we get closer to the lower parts of the city. But as far as asking an actual priest, your guess is as good as mine.
Did you mention
Very-
the orcs and all that stuff? You told them everything.
Yes, I tell you that they take in the downtrodden, a lot of former slaves, and I'm sorry to use that word, but a lot of former slave orcs join the Temple of the Devil in the lower district. It's a place that is run and operated by people of your ilk or former occupation.
Well,
That's-
maybe there's an inn there. Might talk to me.
Well, seeing as how you're kind of a celebrity among your kind now, that might work in our favor.
Some of them. Not all. Ramus,
Yes. That's as good a plan as any. Although relying on the knowledge of orcs is always questionable plan.
Sally isn't with us. Just right. He's not. He's still.
Sully is like lost in the archives.
He's lost. I was just remembering. Like, oh, he's not even here. He's not. Sally, where are you? No.
Yeah.
Where is that? Where is he? He's been in there forever.
Yeah, it's been like several hours.
I imagine it would be like me walking into an establishment that is full of song and gambling and women and drink. Probably that's similar to him. A room of nothing but knowledge. He's probably spending all of his time there, enjoying every minute.
So when you say that, we'll cut over to Sully Hoffa. So Sully is, yeah, you're lost in the archives. You found yourself completely turned around. What do you do when you realize that you're lost? Like, what is
The first thing I realize when I do is I rely on magic. So I'll cast Detect Magic as a ritual and see what I can find in here.
Okay, sure. So you sit down to cast the spell.
Yeah.
And so you, for the next 10 minutes, you're able to perceive magic. Yeah, like there's varying degrees of magicalness here. It's not like the whole place glows. There's no prevalent enchantment. But some objects bear a faint enchantment. Some of the scrolls that you walk by, some of the things glow like through their boxes, right? Because 3 feet of wood penetrates the barrier, so you can see glowing auras like in some of the crates or boxes, but nothing immediately like blinding.
Well, I'm definitely like gravitating towards the ones that are glowing brighter than the other ones. So I make a mental note and just stumble upon there to see
Just like
what
wander
it is.
around looking at things. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'll do this
you
for
notice-
20 or 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So you
Recasting
you do
spell
it
multiple times.
to the extent of the spell. So it's like 10 minutes walk, 10 minutes cast, 10 minutes walk. So you do it a few times.
Yeah.
And yeah, you start to kind of like, you think maybe you're starting to get your way around when you hear something. So you hear a tearing sound. So you're like, and then a sort of wet crunching sound, and then a pause, and then a tearing sound, and a wet crunching sound, and it's somewhere out in the stacks, but you can hear it. You notice this repeating pattern of sounds.
I just throw my voice out into the darkness and say, "It must be quite a large book you're destroying."
And then it stops. The tear is like, and you hear like a faint clicking, a series of faint clicks. What languages do you speak?
I speak Aquan, Draconic, Common, and Orcish.
Okay. So whatever language you are responded to in sounds like someone is casting a spell, but it's no spell you've ever heard, and there's no effects. You don't get the same weird like tingle. You just hear, and it sounds like it's coming from something like mechanical, or like the language has underlying it like a clicking and a scraping of like some kind of like material, but you hear something speak to you. Or speak, at least.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't speak that tongue. Do you perhaps speak the common tongue?
So there's a pause, and then... If I must, come out where I can see you.
How about we meet in the middle, where I can see you as well?
I think you'll find that quite impossible.
Well, that could mean many things. All right, fair enough. I kind of walk over to just
You follow
in
the
the
sound
open.
of the voice.
Yeah.
Okay. So it resumes like, and yeah, you come around a corner, and you see a circular intersection of like ways, and the floor is littered about 10 feet from you to the center of the circular area, littered with leather and wood book covers, with the jagged tear of the spine of the books, all their pages torn out. And there's probably like 300 or 400 leather covers just scattered around in a circle. And at the center of the circle, seemingly like just emerging from the floor, there is a long sort of insectoid body made out of segmented kind of graying. It looks like it's made out of like a porous stone, maybe. It's just coming up right out of the floor. And then on either side, there are long insectoid arms just tearing pages out of books. And at the top of the body, there are 2 long antennae, and then multi-segmented white eyes staring blindly out into the dark. And the arms are tearing off like pages and feeding them into the mandibles, the dripping mandibles of this creature. And then down below it, more at like eye level, you see a human face, like in the chest, in a soft spot in the carapace, made of the same sort of gray stone-looking material. Looks like an old man, kind of roomy eyes, and then 2 little human arms sticking out underneath it. And they are passing the book up to the larger shredding arms that are then feeding the body. And so you see it, and the little human like arms and face like turn and look at you as best they can. And it says, "Oh, a turtle. It's been some time since I forgot one of you.
Now, am I speaking to a human or an insect, or what are you? And I think when I say that, I'll make an Arcana check to see if I know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, do it.
13.
You have never seen or heard about one of these things before.
Okay. I still ask the question, like, am I speaking to the human or the insect or both? Or
He says, "Well, that's rude, isn't it? Do I ask if I'm speaking to your arm or your elbow or your face? It's all one thing, Tortle."
well, I suppose that's true. I meant no ill will towards you.
I know.
Are you one of the things stuck in this horde, as I was referred to?
I'm Ithas. I am a god, though none would remember my name as such. And I have been down here for longer than I wish to remember.
Religion check to see if I know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Did it roll? 17? A little better.
I think by the nature of this thing, you don't remember the name.
Okay. I'm sorry that name was forgotten in my culture. Who worshipped you?
He says, forgotten in your culture, and many, many others. They themselves long forgotten too.
Is there anything going on around him, or is he just tearing books up?
He's tearing pages out of books and feeding them into his insectoid mandibles, and then discarding the cover, like thump, like onto the ground, and then picking up another book. So there's like a pile of books next to him.
Is my detect magic still rolling? Like it's still happening?
Yeah, sure.
Is he just beaming?
Yeah. He's glowing with magic for sure. In the same way that any creature that like a summoned elemental or demon doesn't belong in this place glows with that same kind of magic.
Okay. Are you the only one down here? I was told there was several gods that would perhaps appear through these walls.
He nods. He says, "This place is haunted by gods who got lost down here. You're lost too, aren't you?
Yes.
Can't find your way out."
Quite unfortunate. I was going to meet my friends, but I do not know my way. But I was looking for information, but I still have not found that either. It's not the greatest day.
And his like long antennae are like, you find that they're like slightly, they're really long, and they're reaching out towards you to like probe at you.
Yeah. If you have any questions,
you can see them moving slowly towards you.
Right. I look at him and say, if you have any questions, I'm an open book. Of course, I'll answer anything a god asks.
He says, "Have you got anything delicious to eat?"
What does one find delicious, such as yourself?
Knowledge. Anything only you have, only you know. The most delicious things. Everything down here has been forgotten already. Tastes dry, like a mouthful of ash.
Do you know what's happening above?
He shakes the big insect head, like shakes back and forth, and one of his little tendrils like brushes your face when he does. And he says, "No, I've forgotten everything outside this room."
Would it please you to hear the Arcana are falling? Apparently heaven's in a war with someone, and the tower is seeking to restore, or at least awaken, Maru Parvati.
All names long gone from me. Holes like missing teeth.
I'm just studying
He's
them up
eating
and down.
books.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think. What would I know that no one else knows? I'm going to pull something out of this pouch here. Please don't be afraid when you see it. Can you promise me that?
And he scoffs. He's like, "Ha! Fear is one of the first things I forgot."
I reach into my pouch and pull out I think I still have this. It's on my character sheet. I pull out the beetle from Utrix's lair.
Okay, yeah, I mean it'd be dead now, but
it's not
in a
alive.
bottle.
It's in a jar. It was dried, like a cicada husk probably. I kind of put it in front of him. Do you know what this is?
And his little antennae like kind of rub on it, and he says, "Bring it closer."
Oh, you may
his
have
little
it.
arms are like, "Give it to me. Let me see it."
Yeah, I walk closer to him and hand it to him.
Okay, yeah, he takes it and like fervently like unscrews the jar, reaches in and yanks it out and holds it in front of him. You can see his like gray face reflected in its surface. He sniffs it. Smells new. What is it?
I have no idea.
He jams it in his mouth and like crunches it, and like some bluish fluid like drools down his wrinkly chin, and he's like licks his fingers. Delicious. Do you have any more of them?
Unfortunately, I do not.
I want them. And his like little arms are kind of like scissoring in the air hungrily.
I knew thousands of them in existence at one time, but I have not seen them for quite some time now. Several weeks.
Bring more of them to me. They taste like knowledge. I want them. And the eyes are all like wide. He's just like visibly drooling.
Well, what would I get in return?
What do you want? I've forgotten so many things. I could tell you about them.
Allow me one moment to think. And then like 30 minutes pass of me just like weighing what I would want from a god. And also weighing like if I can even find any more of those beetles. Like we haven't seen those beetles for a very long time, ever since
Kalimat has seen them. They've been repurposing the lower district. They're
that's
the
right.
Farang.
Okay.
They're the Farang like terraforming swarm.
Okay. Well, I think after I'm so like lost in the allure of being asked what I want in any form of knowledge in terms of being given to me, that it finally like clicks several minutes. Oh,
so
yeah.
before you talk, so while you're talking, you're like thinking, we see him kind of in the background. He hyperventilates to the point that he starts like puking on himself like semi-convulsively. So like he's like like breathing really hard and like wriggling his little fingers, and then he like and like barfs up some like pulp onto himself, like chewed up paper goo, and kind of like spills down the front of him, and the little arms are wiggling, and he's just like staring at you like, hurry up. And then you're like, and turn to him.
Yeah, I turn. I don't know why I was so drawn by the allure of knowledge, much like yourself. These things and much larger creatures of this nature roam the land above us. If you wish, if it's possible, you can come with me. I can show you where they are.
No, you have to bring them here. I can't leave this place. Look. And he like gestures down. You can see he's like growing up out of the floor.
That's quite unfortunate. Do you know what binds you here?
I forgot a long time ago, but I can't go, can't leave. My servants bring me books. That's how I survive down here.
Would you allow me to take a look?
And he nods.
Okay. I like hunch down. If I need to, I'll get down on my hands and knees and kind of like push away the muck.
As you get closer to him, you scare his insectoid like servants. You never get to see them, but you scare them and they all scatter, and you can tell because they scatter with all the books that are sitting on top of them. So the pile all like separates and the books crawl away from you. as you walk towards him.
Jeez. Okay.
And he kind of coos to them, right? He like burps while he talks and is like, no, it's fine. He's a friend, little ones. And the books all kind of like stop nearby, and there's like a rustling of paper as you get closer. And yeah, so you walk up with the light of the sun in your hand, and you can see like he's merged with the floor. The flagstones of the floor seem to like lift up. I mean, there is a sort of pulpy mass that's like grown up around him. But it seems like he's just like seamlessly like growing up out of this kind of lump that grows out of the floor.
Okay. From on the ground, I ask, how did you come to be like this? Were you just...
I can't remember. This is all I know. The darkness and the books and the hunger. I think those sun priests might have called me here. Not on purpose, of course. It's unhealthy, gathering all this knowledge in one place and then leaving it alone to be forgotten. Perhaps I couldn't help myself.
Can I make an investigation check to see if I can discern why he's attached to the ground, or what's attached to the ground, or is it just like...
I mean, he it looks to you like him and the floor. It's like a limb. Like how is your hand attached to your wrist? Right. Like
okay.
He seems to have grown up out of the floor.
Well, it seems you didn't lie. You are attached here. How about this, though? I did give you something. In return, can you answer a couple of questions from me, and then I'll do as you say and return one day with more.
And he looks at you. Make a persuade check. You can see him thinking it over.
Flat D20 for me.
Licks the pulp from his lips.
Hey, 15, not bad.
And the little wizened old man head nods and says, from their taste, that golden treat, yes, whatever I remember, I'll give to you, though it pains me to do so, as you will carry it back out into the world. Tell no one what you learn from me.
Of course not.
That way we can keep a secret.
Yes, between me and you. How many questions may I ask?
He says, it's not about how many. I'm not a genie.
I understand.
And he gestures with a wizened old arm, and he says, please, sit. And a bunch of the little like book carrying servant spirits, they all come together and make a little chair for you out of books.
Okay, I sit down. Do they hold my weight? I like slowly sit down. Okay.
Yeah. They wriggle a little. It's a little eerie because books get added underneath to like support you as you sit. So it kind of like the books all move around, and as you put your arms down, little piles of books form, and you like set your arms down on the chair.
Okay. And I lean in, very excited for the potential of information. And I ask, the name Tulpa, what do you know of it?
Tulpa's not a name, fool. It's a word.
Do you mind if I write some of this down? You can't eat the pages.
He squints at you and he says, No, you can't. That way someone might read it. Someone else might know. Can't have that.
Well, what if I wrote it in... you're right. Never mind. And I was getting my paper and stuff out, but I put it away.
But you were, Sully is
it,
real smart. So JP can write down whatever he wants, and Sully will probably remember.
Right. Okay. And I go, Tulpa's a word. What does it mean?
Old word. Taken from the scribes and sages from before. Means emanation. Thought form.
Why would someone
ask a monk?
Why would someone call themselves that? Is that ego?
He rubs his hands together. I don't know.
What if I told you No, you would want to eat him. Never mind. I go to the next question. if one were to try and awake Maru Bavadia awake from his slumber, what would happen to this city? And could they perhaps get him to slumber again?
The old gods, the ones that never made the pact, them I remember. Powerful, dangerous, unpredictable. Sleep makes us stronger, not weaker. Maru Bhavati will be hungry.
What will satiate him?
What all gods want. Sacrifice.
Would a city be enough?
A city built on the body of a god is like the shell of a pie. It's not the good stuff inside. You won't notice nor care. Shake it free like a dog does raindrops.
That's quite...
No, the sacrifice must be strong, magical, unique.
Oh dear. I know someone who's rather unique. I hope that's not his plan. I just kind of say to myself without divulging what that actually means. A third question, it's rather odd. But then again, I guess all of these questions are odd. How important were you when you were a god?
He looks around. Less important than I like, I'd imagine. I cannot remember my circumstances in coming here, but if I was missed, don't you think someone would have come looking for me?
I'm sure I'm missed. No one's looking for me.
Well, if no one misses you, and he like reaches out with you, like his little hands, like, come over here, come here.
Not yet. Eventually I will succumb to this earth as we all do, but maybe one day you can feast on my... And I kind of look down. Never mind.
He nods and he says, "Come back to me if you're ever the last of your kind. You would be delicious. The uniquest things always are."
Oh, that brings another question. Do you know any Dragonborn?
I thought they all died out.
I see.
Theirs is a doomed bloodline. All the great dragons sleep deep, deep below. Cannot be woken, not like Maru Bhavati. Different. Elder. Slumbering.
What happened to them?
A bad deal. A hand misplayed at an important time.
Was this ages ago?
I can't remember. Before.
Final question I have for you, then I will leave. Or wander more, most likely. Have you ever met someone without a soul?
Souls. And he just starts laughing until he starts coughing. Like it's the funniest thing he's ever heard. He does that thing where he gets himself all worked up again and starts like barfing on himself. And the little arms are and like wiping his face.
Is this a yes? No? Are you disgusted by the idea of a soul? Was that something that did not exist during your time?
And he looks at you and he says, "Souls. We made them up to fool humans into doing what we wanted." They still believe that old lie.
I've been told that they are a thing and that they exist, and I even once saw a glimpse into what seemed to be a large room holding all of them. Is this all a lie?
I don't know this place you speak of, or any of all that. Go to heaven. Ask them. Ask them yourself.
Well, I appreciate the answers. I don't have any more questions at this point, but I will bring you rare and unique things. Is there perhaps a way to call you to me rather than revisiting this place?
Once, perhaps, a long time ago. Now I don't know what magic it would take to free me from this place. Find something more important and then make the world forget it. That ought to get my attention. And his little like insect head is kind of like weaving back and forth. And he says, but there's just so much down here no one remembers.
Well, I'm going to go over there now. If we happen to run into each other in a couple of minutes, then I'll know that I've once again gone in a circle.
And he nods and he shakes his head kind of sadly and like wipes some spit up off his chin, and he says, if I ever see you again, I won't remember it.
Is there a word that I can bind to me that you would?
He shakes his head.
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this fits. I'm just going to do this because it fits me. It fits the character. It dawns on me that I would like to run an experiment. Just stay right there, okay? Don't move. And don't hit any of these arcane symbols that I will be putting around you.
He gestures, I'm not going anywhere.
Fair enough. I'm going to put a tiny hut on top of him. And
Okay,
see if he comes into the tiny hut with me.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know if you can forcibly put someone in a tiny hut.
Like, how would that work?
Get in my house.
I remember there was an old trap that like an imp would sit and there'd be like a tiny hut and it would cast a spell and drop it.
Let's see.
Or am I thinking of something else?
9 creatures can fit inside the dome with you, springs into existence around and above you, and remain stationary. Yeah, I mean, I think you can just like tiny hut around him. He could leave if he were not like part of the floor.
So he would be inside the tiny hut, but the second it goes away, it'd still be a part of the floor?
Yeah.
I'll still at
'cause
least...
the inside of the tiny hut isn't like in another dimension or anything.
Right. Okay. But at least it would give him some semblance of like being in a different place, which is probably a pretty remarkable thing.
Yeah.
That's the intent then. Not necessarily to free him, but to grant him a different place for a couple of hours.
Yeah, right. Comfortable and dry, regardless of the dank
Yeah.
stuff outside. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so I cast that.
Okay. All right. So are you gonna like rest here? And just like hang out with this weird.
Yeah,
old
sure.
bug
I'm just
man?
gonna sit there and fucking talk to him, man. This is super interesting to me as a character.
Yeah. So yeah, he just sits here and like chows down on books that he's like stolen from various places throughout the archive, tearing the pages from them one at a time, feeding them into his upper mouth.
If I can, I'll try to read some of them and then toss them to him.
Right. So you're like flipping through them, boring, and he like tears them apart and eats them. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. So so the two of you spend the duration of the tiny hut together, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
8 hours.
All right. Cool. So meanwhile, Ramus, Berg, and Kalimat, have you headed for the lower city?
No, not yet.
Okay. So what are you gonna do?
I want to collect Salihafa first.
Yeah, I don't know if we would just leave him like that.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. That's what I was curious about. All right. So where do you go? What do you do?
Well, I stay outside of eyeshot of the fucking temple because they don't like me too much.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that one guy doesn't like you very much.
Yeah, I guess. This is where I left him. He's in the archives somewhere, and they don't particularly like me very much. I mean, I could possibly sneak in, but maybe you would have more luck. Well, damn it. Maybe not, because we have a half-orc brute and a priest of the tower.
They both look like chosen of the tower for sure.
Yeah. Well,
we could have our army attack it if you want.
I would love that. If you would make that happen, I would dance a jig of glee.
But Sally Hoffa might get hurt, though. We don't know where he is, if they're holding him hostage, if he just got lost. We know how he is around knowledge. He gets distracted.
Right. Well, is there any way to get a message to him or something that we're ready to go? Or I don't know how long he's going to be in there.
Let me think.
How many guards do they have?
I'm not like I described the layout and described like what I saw and stuff like that. I'm guessing it doesn't look like it's a good idea to force your way in.
I mean, they're not like, it's not a fortress temple, right? Like you could probably, the tower definitely has more armed forces than the than the sun does. Once you kill them, the whole place you could just tear it down, no problem.
Right.
What's the relationship between the tower and the sun? Is it like
sun's a bunch of goody losers, and tower is cool and awesome and burns shit and kills people.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
well,
really though, the sun is an upwelling of hope and kindness. Like they're good. They're all good people, and they're trying to like save people. And the tower could get them to like come around if they could convince them. But it's very hard, which is why the tower is like, nah, fuck them. We'll get around to knocking them over, but for right now, we're not too worried about it.
All right, then given that, Berg understanding that relationship, Berg just goes,
why don't we just talk to them? Tell them we're there to get our friend. And tell them we're not going to destroy them.
Okay. I had hoped to avoid this, but all right. Even though they might not like me very much, I don't think they're hostile towards me, but they might regard you two as just that. So I will go and inquire as to where Sully Hoffa has been and ask if they can get a message to him and have him come out and meet us as soon as he possibly can. So I suggest you stay out of sight, and I will attempt to get him out.
Be careful, I guess.
Well, you said he cast a spell and he thinks you're his friend, right?
No, not my friend, Solly's friend. Don't worry, it will be fine. Trust me. And I stride ahead with confidence.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you walk up, start ascending the steps, and one of the guards, clad in his shining armor, puts a hand out and says, "Hold there."
Holding.
The temple's closed. No worship today.
I understand. I'm actually not attempting to enter the temple. I have a friend that's inside. You may have seen him. He kind of stands out. He's a giant turtle-looking person. He went down with a friend of his into somewhere within the temple, and I want to inquire if he's ready to leave yet.
The guy just stares at you. And
is there a way that we could get a message to him? Please.
he says, where is he in the temple? And what is he doing?
Wherever the books are. He's a very, very smart person and loves to read.
If he's in the archives, you need an archivist, and they're all busy now.
Okay.
Come back tomorrow. I'm sure your friend will be done by then.
Right. We kind of, it's a little bit of an urgency to this. As you can see, the city's falling all around us, and we would like to collect him and go.
He says, your friend is probably safer in here than he would be out there with you.
Well, I respect your opinion on the matter, but wouldn't it be better for him to make that decision?
What does your friend look like?
A giant turtle. I'm not joking.
He just squints at you like, what?
I'm surprised you didn't see him earlier when he walked in.
Make a persuade check.
Okay.
You need to fill out the friend requisition form.
So he squints at you and he says, a giant turtle.
I know how it sounds, but look at me. And I show my scales, lots of weird people walking around these days.
He nods. I'll tell someone to find this giant turtle and deliver your message. What do you want me to tell him?
That we are waiting outside and he should join us forthwith.
All right.
Thank you.
And then he doesn't do anything. He doesn't go anywhere or say anything. He just stays there staring at you.
You communicate telepathically then, through your mind. I see.
I said I would tell someone. I didn't say I would tell them now.
So in a year's time.
When my shift changes, I will tell someone to tell an archivist that there's a giant turtle in the archive whose friends are waiting outside to be reunited.
Excellent.
I have to guard the gate.
As I'm talking to him, I'm looking around for any points of ingress that I can sneak into.
I mean, it's pretty open, right? It's four. There are four entrances. And around it all here, I'll take you back for the map. So there's four entrances, and around the whole thing, there's shrubbery, and somewhere in there is an access point to get you in. Yeah, so there's lots of potential ways into the place.
So, I mean, my question is, does it look doable that I could get in there? Is it two things? Does it look doable that I can get in there? And is the temple ground that we're on, is it this big or is it bigger than I'm seeing here? Would it take a fucking hour to find him?
This is the temple's main ground, but also he's down below.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, this is just the kind of open air part of the temple.
Okay. When does your shift change, my good man?
He looks up, looks back at you. Sunset.
How far away is that?
You figure I'm not 6 or 7 hours probably.
Perfect. Okay. Excellent. Well, then I shall be sure to come back at sunset when you have gone and talked to an archivist, found my friend. Thank you very much for your time.
Do as you please.
I shall. All right.
Okay.
I turn around, walk away, and
Mhm.
immediately like start like getting out of eye shot of this guy and trying to find another fucking way into this goddamn place.
Sure, yeah. You could try to sneak in. You could be like, "Cool, bye, guard," and then try to like skulk into the temple. So Ramus and Berg, you see Kelly might come back, or leave the conversation. Doesn't look like it went. It doesn't look like it went so well.
Where's he going?
I don't know, but I don't think that went well with the guard.
Obviously, he didn't go in. He's going around.
Maybe the guard told him to go around.
And as you guys are chatting there, Ramus, you hear a voice in your head, and it's my voice. I'm pointing directly at you, and I just look and I say, it didn't go well, so I'm going to find another way in. Just keep waiting. I shan't be long.
God? Is that you?
Are you saying that out loud?
I'm saying it in my head because I've never heard someone speak.
Yeah, you
in my
never
mind
had it
before.
happen.
Yes, it's me, your god. I was hiding it the entire time. Dragonborn are actually demigods and more powerful than you can ever imagine. Now shut up and wait for me.
Oh, it's you and your little silly tricks.
Indeed. All right. Sorry.
We could make a way in, or we could try to find a way under.
Let me do this, and if I'm not back in, say, an hour's time, tops, then blast your way in. Be my guest.
Oh, fun.
We're just peeling off party members one at a time.
Or it's just like looking at Ramus's face, like, what's going on? Because I'm sure he's like making some
Yeah,
sort of.
what's happening? They're both like making faces at each other.
Yeah, I think Berg's just like looking back and forth, like.
I'm counting how many guards there are, where they're positioned, what their defenses are right now. Just looking casually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are the not the guards, but the priests of the temple, are they dressed? Are they gaudy? Or are they humble looking?
It's sort of the opposite of before. These priests like everyone who serves the sun. Part of their deal is that they are accoutred appropriately. They should shine, so they are all like well made up. They even in bad times they make sure to have like nicely like clean clothes, good haircuts. They take care of themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
They're easy to see.
Okay. Well, I was thinking like maybe if they were like, I don't know, clothed like monks, maybe I could like disguise myself. But if they're like got like gold and like suns blazoned everywhere, then it's gonna be a fucking nightmare to try and
Even the monks, their simple attire is made out of like the finest quality silk because they have to show the shining face of the sun to the world at large. So they got to look nice.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. So I am looking for a place that I can get in. I'm gonna try and sneak on in.
Okay. Yeah. Make a stealth test. And I will.
Oh,
fuck
Christ.
it. Just fuck it. I'm not even gonna roll.
Oh.
Double crit. Just you're like the fucking wind.
We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back to the first show of the year.
Yeah.
Here we go. Just like no one sees you. We get the stealth montage, right? Of people like looking past you and you like sneaking through. You have total access to the temple grounds without anyone being able to spot you. No problem. Yeah. So you find your way to the entrance to the archives. It's a set of stone stairs that descends inside, like one of the columns, descends down into the lower levels of the temple. But it's locked. There's a big locked gate.
Okay. Does it look like a pretty complicated lock or not?
Yeah, I mean, like a moderately complicated lock.
Okay. Well, I got thieves' tools.
Yeah, you want to try and pick the lock?
You bet I do.
Okay.
23.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so you just and you pick the lock and it swings open.
All right. And I take just half a beat. After sneaking successfully and unlocking the door, I kind of like, all right, made my luck turn around.
did it.
Made my luck fucking turning around. So yeah, and then I make my way and try and gather up my turtle buddy.
Okay. You don't have dark vision, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay. Do you have a light source, like a torch or something you can take out of your bag?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you light a torch and descend down into the archives. Okay. So Berg and Ramus, how long are you gonna wait out here? Like, what do the two of you do? So again, these two have wandered off to fucking buffoon their way through whatever problems lie before them. What are you guys gonna do? You gonna go get a beer?
I think literally Berg just looks at Ramus after a beat, like after a little while, and just like,
So, what do you want to do?
Well, we'll give him a couple hours, and if he doesn't come back out, then we'll go in after him. Get some of those angry giants and some of the troops over here, and make our way in.
You know how bad things always kind of keep happening to me and those around me.
You know why, though, Berg, right?
No, not really.
Because you never let go. You're so afraid to just let go of things. You hold on to them until they die in your hand. You need to release and let go of things at times. Let go of your rage for once.
Ramus, the rage is all I have.
Then
Don't you know
bad
that?
things will keep happening to you.
What about the girl? I'm not right now going after her. Not much I can do there.
And she just might live. She just might.
You don't believe that?
She's probably dead. Look at this city. If you're not one of us, how are you going to survive?
Yeah, and like you look around and the temple, the sacred hallowed temple district is like a gutter full of blood and ashes, right? Like you see two people fighting over like a coin purse. They stripped off a third corpse. There are dead bodies just like lying in the street. There are buildings on fire. The air stinks of corpses rotting in the sun. Like it's a bad time.
This place is the tower's wet dream right now.
What dream?
Well,
What is?
when you're
what do you
older,
mean?
Berg, I will tell you what that means. But that's not for you to know right now.
Why would your dream be wet? Like in a lake?
Sometimes you dream of water in the swamp. You know it's wet. You think you're okay. Just let it go, Berg. Again, let it go.
I do like mud. We've talked about this before.
He does.
With the mud.
True.
What were you saying?
She's small and she's tiny. She could sneak around and possibly get out of here. That is, if she doesn't freaking scream and she sees more cultists.
She did slip away. Well, maybe the young one is still alive. Probably not.
If there's any vortex left in her, then she's resourceful, she's strong, and she will find a way to survive. That's what her soul did the previous life.
True. Well, at least I can say I tried. Right? I can say that. Right, Ramus?
Yes, you physically can say anything you want, Berg. Say it all you want. But sometimes you don't have to try. You can just let it go.
I'm not you, Ramus. It doesn't come so easily.
I know it doesn't, Berg. I know. Some things are hard. Some things, especially learning new things, is very hard. Especially for someone as stubborn as you. And me, for that matter.
Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
not the only one that's stubborn.
And
You're
so the two,
stubborn, Ramus. That's the point. I'm saying.
so the two of
you
you,
for
like,
saying
you're basically sitting on the curb outside the Sun Temple, like having this conversation while the world burns around you, and and there's just like a moment of sort of like, like, yep, things are rough, and we fade over to Kalimat. So Kali, is your intention to go down to the archive just to find Salihafa? All right, make an investigation check. So we fade back to you, torch in hand, walking through what I described before, this like warehouse of ancient goods.
Fuck.
Okay. All right. So you wander through the sort of hallways of this place, and you find yourself turned around, not interminably lost, but you're starting to get that feeling like, I gotta go back and then left and then right, and you're like kind of having to go over it in your head to make sure you don't get too turned around down here.
Okay.
And you come across a statue. It's partly uncovered. It looks like they put it in the part of a box, but then never boxed up the front of it. It's ancient, like ancient statue, and it has on it like an inscription around the base, and it's very worn. It looks like it depicts some kind of like god or hero. They're clutching a bow and a handful of arrows, and the figure contains both the features of a human and a cat. So it has like cat ears and the sort of muzzle, like the longish muzzle of a cat. It has a cat's tail, but a human form, right? 2 arms, 2 legs, etc. And it's clutching a bow and some arrows, and then it's got around the base there's an inscription in some ancient language.
Okay. I attempt to read the inscription.
Okay. What languages do you speak?
I speak Draconic, Common, Dwarvish, and Orcish.
Okay. Just make a history check at disadvantage because you don't have any like related languages.
5.
The only thing you can maybe sort of make out is that one of these characters, like this is like you can read English and you're trying to read cuneiform, so it's like triangle, sideways triangle, 3 triangles, a line. One of the assemblages of characters, worn and lost. Yeah.
Before you continue, as soon as I'm like scrambling my eyes.
Yeah, right.
This, like I'm like, what the fuck is this? I remember like wanting to communicate with Maud and figuring out a way to do that was like what I would do in my downtime, like my hobby. So I've been tinkering with this spell, and I'm going to cast the like comprehend languages.
Okay.
Okay. So there it is, right there.
Okay. All right.
Understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written.
So what does that look like? Does it look like, do we see the words like blur and change, or do you just simply understand them
It's kind of like I picture it kind of like he's looking at it, he's got his hands on it, and it's kind of like a beautiful mind where like they rearrange themselves into something that I completely understand. Like it forms a sentence, yeah, or forms whatever it says. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a name. There were other words, but they've long been like the reason why this person is memorialized is long lost to time. But the person that this is a statue of, their name was Silent Thorn. That's all you can read. Everything else is gone and missing.
Okay. Can I since I'm a nomad or whatever, can I do a check to see if I've heard this name in a story somewhere?
Yes. You can make another history check.
Okay. 11.
No.
Said Hidden Thorn. Hidden Thorn smacks to me of like an assassin or a rogue or something like that.
Silent. Yeah, Silent
Thorn.
Excuse me, Silent Thorn. Sounds like that to me. So I'm gonna kind of like inspect the statue because it
looks like a statue.
There's something
like
valuable here, and it doesn't sound like a sun like or sun arcana like thing.
No. It looks like it looks like an ancient statue. Like I'm talking like thousands and thousands of years old, worn down, like ancient, and it looks like it was buried. Like there are clumps of like mud still on it in places, like river silt. I don't think you have any other context for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just something you notice as you're traveling before you're like, I don't know kind of where I am, but this is a thing that grabs your attention as you pass through the. Yeah.
Okay. Well, as I can, I'm going to look around this like the statue itself to see if there's any like, I don't know, fucking hidden treasure in it or on it or something like that.
I mean, this whole place is like full of like long forgotten artifacts.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Silent Thorn. All right. I'm going to do my best to remember that and continue on. And as I go down the hallways, I'm going to like every 20, 30 feet, I'm going to take a book. Or excuse me. Is it lined with books or not?
No, so it's not really a library, right? Like it's like a store. It's like a warehouse of old artifacts.
Okay. Is there anything like wooden that I could?
Oh yeah, there's like crates. It's full of crates, shelves and stuff.
Cool. Then I'm going to make a like a little scratch mark, so I know where I've been.
Okay. All right.
Like breadcrumbs.
Okay. So yeah, eventually you become like turned around, but you could find your way back. And like with Selihafa, it takes a full 4 hours of like wandering. You lose track of time because you don't have a watch, right? And like being down in the dark, your torch burns out and you have to light another one.
Fuck.
And then and I think that's at the point where you're like, what the hell? As you like light this new torch off the guttering end of another one, and when you flicker the new torch up, the light startles a bunch of tiny stone gray insects that scatter away from you. And then like linger at the edge of your vision. And when you look up, you can see there is there's a bookshelf with a bunch of gaps, like missing teeth. And there are these tiny little like insect tracks in the dirt.
Okay. Is there any Selihafa tracks?
Turtle
tracks.
And I think if you think to look for it, you're like, interesting. You take a look for it, and then you see a big turtle footprint.
Okay. There you are, you son of a bitch. All right. I'm going to follow it to its logical place.
Okay. So you follow, and then eventually, you see a circular shaped room, and in the center of it, a dome of opaque, glittering, familiar looking shell like light.
Mm-hmm.
And then like book covers torn, like I said, but out in a ring around this dome.
Okay. Well, I know that from experience that he can see through the walls. I can't see through him, but he can see from outside. He can see out. So if he's gonna see me coming, he's gonna see me coming now. But if not, I'm going to like take out my pan flute and start like tooting a little like light tune so he hears me coming.
Okay. So inside, Sully, Itihas has fallen asleep. So he's kind of curled over like a limp fern, and his little legs are like twitching in his sleep. And his arms are like hanging loose, and he's just kind of like snoring. He's fallen asleep, and you're like flipping through one of the books that he sort of half consumed. And then you hear the like lilting sound of flute music. Itihas wakes up a little bit. He's like, and then like falls back asleep.
Okay. I start looking around from within the globe, within the spell still.
You turn and you see torchlight illuminating your friend, Kalimat.
Okay. My eyes go pretty wide when I see him, and I look back to see, sleeping Itas still there. And I turn back. Can I cast spells through Tiny Hut?
Yes. Like creatures and objects within the spell and you cast it can move through it. All creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. Okay, so no.
Fuck.
Yeah, no.
Because the second I leave, the spell ends.
If you leave the dome, yeah. But you can allow him access to it, right? You can invite him in.
I don't want him in here with fucking Itas.
Yeah, right.
Can I form letters in the air with prestidigitation, or is that too complex?
You could, but they can't go outside the hut, so he wouldn't be able to see them.
Oh fuck! I can't see them. Shit.
You can. Yeah, the dome is opaque from the outside, but transparent from the inside.
Yeah. Shit. I'll go to the door and just peek my head out.
Okay. Oh my god, it's such a good visual because it's a giant shell, and then your little head peeks out.
Yeah.
So it's like this enormous shell, a tiny little turtle head pokes.
It's too big for his body.
Yeah. And then
His body.
yeah,
That's so good.
you see one of my hands come out. There's a thin piece of copper wire, and it just almost ignites. And then I want to cast message as a cantrip to Kalimat, which I think you use the spell as well, so you'll understand what's happening. And in your head, I just say, "It's nice to see you. I'm sorry you had to come down here. You cannot be here right now."
And I don't even use the message. Like I don't use the telepathic back to him. I just speak out loud. I just say, "Do you have a lady turtle in there?"
No, I have a god.
I'm sorry. The dust in my ears. God.
I like to look back, see if he's still asleep. Yes.
Yeah, his little
God.
arms just kind of.
He will eat you. I'm not joking around. This is all in your mind.
If it were anyone else, I would say that you were joking. But I know you don't do that or know how to do that. What is going on?
I will tell you soon. Just go a little way away. He can't move from this place that I know of. But I don't know what else he can do, so just go away.
We're ready to go. I've been down here for more hours than I know, and we're ready to leave.
I'm sorry. I was speaking with a god. It's not every day that... You're wasting time. Get out of here. I'll find you in just a second. A minute or so, I lied.
There are no gods. There are only arcana and fate. I'm supposed to be here. Now let me in.
So when Kalimat, because let's see, the target can hear the message and reply in a whisper only you can hear. Kalimat, was that you saying that out loud, or was that you like in your head?
No, it was that
So
loud.
so you raise your voice. You're like, there is no God. I'm supposed to be here. And then, Sully, you hear like, and then the little like his head
the
bonks
second
to the top of the thing. And he starts looking around. What's that? What is it? And you can see him like straining, and yeah, you can hear this voice, Kalimat, coming from inside the.
I'm gonna
the dome.
cast minor illusion. I
take a step back.
Yeah, I fling a minor illusion over toward Kalimat and make his head look like a human head.
Okay, so remember, these things only work if he stands perfectly still and doesn't say anything. There's the illusion of a human head, but his horns are like bigger than a human. So
he's just got a big bobblehead, man.
Right, sure. And he right now is just like looking around and like flicking his little things, and he can't see that well. So
right.
Yeah, so he's like sniffing at the air, and he says, so rare, so unusual. What is it? What is it?
I don't know.
You can hear him. He's getting like angry.
I'm like got my hand on my dagger, and I'm backing. I'm like, Sully, what is going on in there?
How long does message last? 1 round? It's not very long.
His lower legs, like he's flopped forward so he can get more of his legs on the ground, and they're scratching on the floor trying to get purchase and like pulling, and you can hear cracking and like straining around where his body meets the floor.
I just say out loud, I'm not going to cast a spell. I told you not to be here, and you disobeyed. Itas, I'm sorry, I must leave. It's been a pleasure. Me and my friend must go. Please, let us escape.
Okay, and he's like snarling and spitting, and he's like barely coherent now. And when you turn look at him like, we have to go. I'm sorry. You hear more like cracking, and you see at the base of his body where all the like stuff he's like barfed up over time is. He's starting to tear himself free from the floor, but it's not that he's tearing himself loose. You can see bigger. The plates cracking. Well, no, the plates are cracking, and he's just ripping himself free from the floor. So like you can see blood welling up in the cracks in his plate. He's basically just gonna rip himself in half to try to like chase Kalimat down.
Okay, I'm running towards Kalimat at this point. I'm trying to physically touch Kalimat.
So you leave the dome, and Kalimat, you see the dome peel away like an opening lotus flower, and you see this enormous, like verminous creature glistening wetly in the light of your torch, and it turns its head towards you, mandibles clicking and scratching, and it rears up, and you see the sort of halfway infant, halfway elder human arms and face just drooling and like hiccuping on itself, reaching for you as the thing is starting to tear free from the floor.
Can I touch Kali? Have I made physical contact?
Yeah, you can like run over to him.
Yeah, I run over to him. I cast haste on him, and I just say, "Run."
So
run.
So Kalimat, as Sully, the first part of the word comes out like, and it goes, and like everything just like slows down, and we get in slow motion the scattering of the book bugs. We see the torso of Itihas like tearing free and like blood gushing out in slow motion, and everything is just moving like a beautiful, terrifying ballet of slowness. What do you do?
I look at Kalimat, and Kalimat, excuse me. I look at Sully Hoff and I go, "That's a god."
Does that like come out fast, Adam? To me, do I see things faster when he acts?
I think he can speak. Yeah, it comes out quickly. You can still understand him, but it comes out like double fast.
Okay. Then I just respond, "Yes, run!" And I'm just turning around with like the widest of eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm also like backpedaling and running. I'm running in the direction that Kali is.
I start like running away, and I realize like I am leaving Sully Hoffa like in the fucking dust.
Mhm.
I get quite a bit like ahead, like through the archives before I realize like I'm alone.
Well, so here's the thing. You
Okay.
take off, you like, run off, and so we see like this blur of orange light as the torch goes and like leaves a trail as you rip off into the darkness. And then the thing tears himself free from the floor, leaving a bloody, wriggling stump squirting black blood. And he rips off and then scatters off after you. And he is fucking fast, right? He's like,
oh shit, okay.
He like scatters after you. He's a bug, right? He's a huge, hungry bug. And he scatters off after you. And you run. So he's chasing you. So you run around a corner and he peels off after you, slams into a shelf, knocking debris and books free. And all you can hear is just this hammer, like it's like someone is hammering a pickaxe against a stone floor at a rate of, you know, a very, very high rate. So there's like clattering sound of the sharp ends of his claws clicking on the stone. And he's coming after you. So what are you gonna do?
I'm going to try like as obviously as quickly as I can. I'm going to try and like look for my little cuts in the wood that I made on my way here and use those as guide markers to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, so you're not just running, you're like running, but also trying to keep an eye on what's going on around you.
Yeah, and also like if I feel like I don't know how you would judge this, Adam, but if I feel like he's going to come up and eat me and that he's gaining on me and shit like that, like I'm going to be looking to hide.
Okay. You'll never be able to hide from him while you have this torch in your hand.
Oh, sure. No, I know that. But like I want to judge his speed at which he's like fucking coming at me. Like because I'm moving pretty quick and he's keeping up. I don't know.
Make an athletics check.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
It's
11.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's getting on you fast. You're really fast, but he's a god. And yeah, he's barreling towards you. You've got probably a couple of rounds to get away because of the if you tried to get away without haste, this would be over already. He'd be on top of you. But
okay.
you're ripping it as hard as you can. And
then I'm not looking for X's anymore. I'm not looking for little scratches at all. I'm just fucking full on out booking it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So you're fleeing at high speed, and he's running after you, slamming into things as he peels around the corner. And as you run, like you're running at such a speed, you can hear your torch like guttering out, right? Because all the wind that's blowing past it as you run. So let's see if it goes out on its own. It does not. It's still flickering, giving you light. Make another athletics check.
Okay.
You can make this one with advantage.
oh,
All right, so it's tied. You maintain distance.
Jesus Christ. Plus 10. Fuck
And
me.
so you like run around a corner and he's right behind you, and then he veers right. We see him veer right. You look over your shoulder, you don't see him anymore. And then when you turn back, you see him smash through a shelf in front of you, sending paper and wood debris flying everywhere. You like run up in front of him, turn back around, he snaps at you with his mandibles, and you can like feel them close in front of your face before you book off in the other direction. Yeah, he's still on you. Yep. What do you do? Are you still running at full speed?
Yeah, I've got no other course of action right now. Like,
okay, all right.
Fuck.
Okay. The torch is good. Yeah, make that athletics check again.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
16.
Uh-oh.
5.
Oh.
5. Oh, damn it.
Okay, so so you're running as fast as you can, but this thing is just a blur of motion. There's a long line of his like goop, his entrails kind of like laying splattered on the ground, and then these deep pick marks of his tendrils. And so he comes up right behind you, and he's like right up about to like he's reaching out to grab you with his front mandibles.
Okay.
So if he beats you again, he'll get you, unless there's something else you want to do.
Let's see.
Am I just like
Second here.
standing there now, just like
Well, are
500
you-
feet away?
I mean, it's up to you. Like if you're still like,
Well, this
like
has
running.
happened in the span of 18 seconds.
Yeah.
And I can only go 90 feet, and they can go 180 feet around or so. Like
Yeah. So it'll take you some time to catch up, but if you are fully like sprinting after him, you're welcome to.
that. I'll think of what I'm doing. Zeke, go ahead.
Okay. Instead of looking for an exit, I'm going to look for a way to double back so I can go back to Salihafa.
Okay. So you're gonna stop and then like try to fake him out and run past him.
Yep. Give him a little deke, a little juke.
Okay. All right. So you can roll. You roll deception, I think, in this case.
Okay.
Target number is. Ooh. Nope.
Oh, 26?
You fucking crit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I crit it. So you juke one way, try to go the other way, and you run right into him. He's too fast. He kind of curls over himself and slams into you. Can you make a strength save? DC 15.
Oh. Strength? Are you trying to dex? Come on.
No, he's trying to knock you to the ground. You run into him. Oof. Okay,
Oh,
so you
fucker.
you try to run one way, and you bash into him, and you get thrown to the ground. You get the brief like sparks as the back of your head hits the hard stone underneath you. You drop the torch, which continues to burn, and then he like moves up on top of you basically. So you're knocked down. He's not pinning you, but he moves so that his old man face and his like little arms can reach you, and then the big insectoid body is like over top of you, and so he like climbs up onto you, and there's this like hideous kind of like cataracted eye old like human face like sniffing, its nostrils wide, and he has these like frail arms like reaching out and like pawing at you.
Does he look like he's trying to attack me, eat me, or just get up on me?
He's like making it so you can't get away, and then he wants
Okay.
to like he's probably gonna. I mean, he wants something. You don't know what it is now.
Okay.
How far can I see all this happening?
No. You hear the crashing and stuff, and then it suddenly stops. And the pummeling sound, the machine gun sound of his legs. You don't hear that
Okay,
anymore.
I'm running towards where it all stopped. That's the plan right now.
I assume you're chasing after him. Okay.
Yeah. Let me know when I get
Quick
there.
question.
Yes.
Can you cast spells while prone or not?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because
Okay.
you're not like tied up or anything.
Okay. Are we gonna do initiative or?
No, I don't think. I mean, he's not trying to attack you.
Okay.
Right. But you can do a thing.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to yell at him. What do you want? What do you want? Before I like last ditch effort, I'm gonna do some shit.
Okay. Yeah, he's not speaking. He's like just gurgling in tongues and like frothing at the mouth.
Okay. Then I'm gonna hit him with this is going to be a spell I haven't cast before, but it actually is very apropos that I picked it because it's very like a primal thing. The spell is Thunder Wave, and what it does is in a 15-foot cube in front of me, it does 2d8 damage and pushes whatever it is 10 feet away. Saving throws notwithstanding.
Okay, cool.
So I'm backing up, like I'm on the ground, and I just go, get away!
Yeah. Okay, what's the save?
like the sound
Constitution save 15 or for hold on, I'll just 1 second.
Yeah, just click the spell. Yeah.
There it is.
I'm the best at D&D.
He crit again. It doesn't matter.
He got a 20. Okay.
I mean, it's
All
what
right.
we got.
So you and like there's a thunderous boom audible out to 300 feet. So Sully, you definitely hear it. This boom.
Yeah, I'm
Like
running
shake-
towards the direction. Let me know when I get there.
And
Okay, so two damage.
it takes a little bit of damage. Like ripples, some of his scales like crack. And then he slams his body down on you, and the two little frail arms hit your shoulders and shove you to the ground. And you can feel behind those little arms the massive, heavy weight of the whole insectoid thing. And you can feel there's a pool of its viscous blood like pooling around you can feel it in your ankles because he's like bleeding from the severed end of his body. And he's like holding you down, and this like hungry, drooling face is just like staring at you as the hands like paw at you. Like you don't know what he's trying to do, but he's like grabbing at you.
So still no initiative though.
I mean, you can act, you can do something.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking hit him with my breath weapon. Then I'm gonna hit him with my fucking thunder shit.
Okay.
Okay. Oh man, that's a long description.
That's okay.
So
That's
it's
good.
Constitution plus 8 plus Constitution modifier was 1, and proficiency is 3. So DC of 12, or take 2d6 damage and half for half.
Okay, so roll damage for me.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like there's a thunderstorm Selioff, in the way you're going. So obviously Calumet is fighting back. You've heard these sounds before, and I think this time he gets pissed. Oh yeah, it's another d6, right? Because you're high enough level total.
Yep.
Oh, I am 6. You're right. I am 6.
Yeah, roll another d6.
Okay. I'll just use the first one.
Hey.
So 6.
Okay.
6
All
plus 11, half of 11.
All right. Okay. So you again and it like pushes him back a little, and the angry, like the guy who's trying to, the little hands grabbing you, he looks angry, and he rears up, and the mandibles come down at you, and he's got advantage because you're prone. So you take 22 damage. The mandibles like sink into you, and you feel them like pierce your flesh. I need you to make a con save.
Is there it doesn't say anything about being prone or anything like that with uncanny dodge.
Oh no, if you want to uncanny dodge that, you can. Yep.
Okay, cool.
You still get the hit,
will...
but you take half. It's like half damage, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So 11.
Okay. Still gotta make the con save.
Okay. 19.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna take half of this, which is not much, and you're not poisoned. So you take another 9 damage. You don't take the poison condition, but it snaps its mandibles into you, pulls away to try to get you to like calm down, like stop fighting, but you're still capable of moving.
Okay.
And it screeches, a combination of a human voice and this horrible insectoid like shrill sound. What do you want to do?
Am I there yet?
No, not yet.
Well, I'm gonna attempt to am I pinned, or can I attempt to get up?
No, you could try to get away. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to. Now, if I attempt to get up, is it my action? Does that count as my action?
No. So getting up is half of your move. You still have the benefits of haste, so you have that extra action. You need to take the disengage action, or he'll try to snap at you again.
Yep. So I have haste. Yeah, I have 2 actions, right?
Yeah, you get an extra action you can use on some other stuff.
Okay, cool. So what my intentions are: get up.
Yeah.
Use the blessing of the night to stab him in the fucking eye, and then disengage.
Okay.
Okay. Can I do all of that?
You can make an attack and then disengage. Those are 2 actions. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. 24.
Nice. Yeah, you hit.
And I do the thing, the special.
The once per day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is oh shit, never mind. You can use an action.
You have to use the action to prepare it first.
Yep, I gotta prepare first. Never mind.
You still
do
make
that.
the attack. So roll damage.
Yep. Okay, and it is. Why is it not rolling damage though? That's so strange. Okay.
There it goes. Adam rolled it for you.
I got it.
Okay. Where did you click to roll it?
Oh, just where it says blessings of the night serpent.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yep.
Like
so
that.
you
Okay.
stab him with the knife, and he shrieks in anger. And then so that's half your move to stand. You still have half of your move left. You took an attack action. You have your cunning action to disengage, and then you can move and finish your move, right?
Yep. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Yeah, disengage, attack, and double move. Yeah. So you stab him and he hisses. You get up, disengage, and then fucking run for it.
Yep, I'm booking.
Okay. All right. So you start to run. He gives chase. But Sully, you come around the corner and you see him just as he's about to run.
So the second I see him, if we're not in combat, like it's not obeying the rules of like.
I mean, you get an action. I'm giving you one thing you can do.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, you could still.
What do you want to do?
Here's what I want to do. I want to cast Enlarge on myself and use Prestidigitation to make my voice sound booming, and then I want to say something.
Okay. Yeah, you can't do all of that stuff.
Can I do
all at once
Enlarge
'cause it's
and say something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah. I cast my final second level spell then. Enlarge on myself, so I'm now a 12-foot
Double-sized turtle.
a 12-foot 4 turtle that weighs 8 times 475 pounds, whatever that is. Just massive. Just a fucking huge ass turtle.
Yeah, and I think as you grow, like your shoulders hit the aisles next to you. We hear the cracking of the wood of the crates as you break them. The shelves like crumble, shit's falling, pottery's breaking as you like take up all this space.
Haste drops, by the way, it's Zeke. Just FYI.
Yeah, Kalimat, you feel like you just suddenly like run into a wall. Like you feel like you get the wind knocked out of you, and all you can do for a round is you're stunned, basically.
Yeah, he can't do anything for a round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as I'm like growing, I'm calling out to Etos and saying, "Etos, let my friend go."
Make an intimidation check.
I'm going to use my inspiration on this and make my intimidation check. Well, I didn't need it. 14.
Okay. So he snaps back to you and takes a breath and then like spasms. And there's a squirt of like blood from the severed end of him. And he looks up at you almost like helplessly, holding himself up on the walls. Like he's got his little claws dug into the walls. So he's like, his chest is facing you and his little arm kind of like goes limp and he looks at you and he's like, buddy. So delicious. Please. His little arm is like wriggling.
Not now, but soon. I will bring him back. I basically just straight up fucking lie.
Yeah, and I think he roars. And again, it's that like the like sound of anger from the little face, but the hissing sound, and then he rushes you. So he just like rushes towards you. So Kalimat, you can't do anything. His action is going to be to rush Sully Hoffa in rage and try to like kill him. So Sully, he attacks you, like lunges at you.
All right.
So.
All right.
Okay. He only gets a 15, so you managed to get managed to get your now huge sort of scaled arms up in front of you, and his claws scratch against them. He's all up in your shit. You can go again, then Kalimat, then he can do something.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to not like pin him down, but just to fucking like get him to stop freaking out. So like I'm grabbing him.
That would be a way. I mean, that would be a way is like wrestle him, like grapple him.
Yeah, I guess I guess I'm trying to grapple him, and I'm just saying, like, calm down. We are not your enemies. I shared a room with you not moments ago.
All of my hopes and dreams of you acting out a kaiju style.
I know. That's why I did it, Adam.
Rubber suit, giant turtle wrestling situation.
That's why
I'm so into it. Yeah,
that's why I did it.
So the miniature set of the library shakes as the enormous rubber suit turtle, does battle with the enormous giant worm centipede monster.
Yeah.
And let's have you make an athletics check. You have advantage.
Yeah, because I am large, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Athletics, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, not very good.
No, even with advantage. Okay. So you reach out to grab him, and he pushes you back, and you can't get your hands on him. Kalimat, you come out of your haste-induced funk, and you can see the two of them crashing into each other, sort of throwing each other around on the walls. And I guess I was gonna say, because we're right at the end, this might be like, I'm okay ending this in the middle of this thing where we cut back to Kalimat, and you like look up and you see your friend being like menaced by the centipede, and we can cut there the sense of like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? I'm okay with that.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. I gotta think about what I want to do.
Yeah, let's do that. You can ponder how to best defeat this terrible creature.
Fuck, dude.
That got real quick.
I knew that was gonna happen the second that fucking Kali
you warned him.
that was being success. Like, he got the 20 and he picked the lock, and I was like, he's gonna find me, and this guy's gonna eat him because he fucking said that he would really love to eat a dragonborn when I brought it up. And I didn't mention him. Blah blah blah. So fuck.
And you're perfect strangers with this motherfucker living in a hut.
I'm not a fucking dragonborn. I'm not a rarity, man. I gave him what was rare on me as a gift.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta try to. Yeah, I don't know.
No, honestly, like when we come back, I don't know if this would work or whatever, but I was seriously just for you guys, just for the chat, just for everybody listening. I was thinking about like cutting like my hand open and like bleeding on the floor, and hope like maybe just stop and like lick up all that shit.
It's not a bad idea. Yeah, we'll talk about it in the post show. My idea kind of worked, but not. Now I'm fucking stuck in this stupid kaiju battle with the god. Let's do some shout outs. Zeke, why don't you start us off?
All right. What is up, everybody? What a great fucking episode. I can't wait until we're all in the same group again. It'll be nice. It'll be really nice when we all get in the same group. You know, assuming I live or Sully lives through this little engagement with a god. Anyway, thank you, Max, Dan, JP, and Adam. Every week, man, I'm just so excited to do this. This is my favorite thing to do. If you want to catch me, I'm on twitch.tv/Ezekiel_III. Same with Twitter and YouTube, all /Ezekiel_III. Tomorrow's Drop Frames, of course, 10 a.m. Pacific. But after Drop Frames, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be me and my buddy DP of the Sour Kool-Aid Show. We're going to be doing some co-op Far Cry again. The Montana boys are back at it again. And it's always a lot of fun. Nice. We get drunk and we do dumb shit, and it's just a hootenanny. So that's all I got. Thank you for watching.
Good stuff. GassyMexican, some shout outs, please.
I'm sorry, you mean Amish Mike?
I was going to say
Mike, who's just not there. He's disappeared. No, it's because I
don't believe in cameras, JP.
I'm real nervous to apply this because the last time we did it,
just keep me like this. It's fine. Don't break anything.
I applied it. Good luck.
I'm GassyMexican. Oh, God damn it. I don't even want to look at myself. I'm GassyMexican on everything, Twitch, YouTube, all that. I make YouTube content, make Twitch content. Might be casting afterwards here. Maybe check out Fortnite. Everybody's checking it out, so whatever. It's cool if you don't tune in. But hurdy-gurdy player. Good session. It's good to be back. I'm not traveling. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not traveling for any long period of time in the near future here. So it's going to be nice to come back, get some D&D going. And I'm also excited for Far Verona, the upcoming space roleplay show that we have coming in the works. So I'll be playing a character on there. So check out my stuff if you want to. If not, no worries. And I will see you guys in the post show for patrons.
Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week on both Court of Swords and Far Verona. Your first double header. I think that's the first time we've done 2 shows of RP in 1 week, right? I don't think you've done anything.
For Max, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think so.
It'll be a lot. Dan, some shout outs, sir.
Hi, I'm DansGaming / DansGaming on Twitch, Friday streamer. It's a fun episode. It's fun watching that whole thing just go down. That was insane. It's like some horror movie stuff going on there. And I can't wait to see what happens next week because I don't know how they're going to survive this. This just seems like crazy. But yeah, it's a fun episode. I love doing this every week, and I can't wait to do it next week.
We'll see you then. Last but not least, Adam, some shout outs, and then we'll do XP.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Thanks for coming, everybody. If you are interested, I got one of the best compliments. Somebody was like, "This monster is like HR Giger met Studio Ghibli," and I was just like, perfect. That's exactly what I want. But if you want to see something that really inspires me for like all the weird gods and demons and stuff in Court of Swords, check out a comic book called Kill 6 Billion Demons. You will appreciate it if you liked Itihas, the book eating silverfish today. You can find me at twitch.tv/Adam Coble or on Twitter at skinnyghost. And like Max said, we're gearing up for Far Verona. I've been doing a bunch of world building and stuff on my stream. We're going to do a world building stream Friday morning. So pop over to my Twitch page and look at the events there and don't miss it because it's going to be expository as fuck.
Uh-oh. Well, cool. Let's do some XP, and then we'll wrap it up and go do a post show for a little while.
All right. So, Berg, you gently work towards finding more about the orc cult. You kind of have an idea or a lead for that. So, so that one you work towards 50 times your level. And then Ramus, I think you worked towards both the cult and retrieving something from the vault, because you were trying to find both of those things. So that's 50 times your level twice for Ramus. Sully, you did indeed use your wits to get you and your friend out of the predicament there. You're level 6?
Yep.
Okay. So that is 600 experience for that one.
Oh my God, you're a cruel DM, Adam.
So that it was an easy one, right? Because it was just something real
I
quick
know.
and fast
I wanted to find Berg again, but I'm 100 XP from next level.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
heartbreaker.
the worst.
Yeah.
And then Kalimat, you work towards getting the key from Devil's Vault. So 50 times your level for that one.
Perfect.
Cool.
100 XP, man. All I had to do is be like, "Hey, Berg, I found some stuff out. By the way, I'll teach you to read." And I hit 7. That's literally all I got to do.
Yeah, but you're too busy with the knowledge.
Actually, that's right. I'm sorry, Berg. You actually get another 50 times your level because you specifically asked Ramus about like,
Oh yeah,
I
did.
how does karma work?
That's true.
Like, what's
Yeah.
going
I
on?
forgot about that. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
Good work.
That is true. All right,
my
that's it for us. We will be back next Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern for some more Court of Swords. Like Zeke said, we got Drop Frames tomorrow. Then, of course, next week after Drop Frames, we have the premiere of Far Verona. So if you want to watch some space stuff with GassyMexican or Ammunition or Sherlock Holmes or That Bronze Girl, then we'll see you then. We're out. See you next time. Bye-bye.